Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're stepping into something really fundamental. It's about your feet, actually. Specifically, the critical importance of proper footwear, especially if you're an overweight woman. It's often overlooked, but it's foundational for health. You've sent us some fantastic sources, clinical studies, practical guides, the works, all about how weight impacts feet and what makes a good shoe, well, good. Our mission to dig through all that, pull out the absolute must-knows, and give you a clear roadmap. Think of it as your shortcut to happier, healthier feet.
And it's a lot of material, definitely. Covers the biomechanics, the metabolic stuff behind foot pain,
Yes.
right down to specific shoe features, even brand names. And the key takeaway, really, is that this isn't just about comfort. No, it's about preventing some pretty significant health issues that can start right at your feet and, work their way up.
Okay, so let's get right into it. The core problem. What exactly is happening to your feet when they're carrying extra weight day after day?
Well, it's a huge load, literally. Your feet bear the brunt. The sources point to several key impacts. First off, there's just massively increased strain. Think about all the parts in your feet joints, tendons, ligaments, bones. Extra weight just amplifies the wear and tear on everything. And that directly leads to conditions like arthritis, tendinitis, that really common one, plantar fasciitis, and just general heel pain. It makes sense, right? More load, more stress.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like overloading a machine.
Exactly. And it's not just pain. We actually see structural changes happening in the foot itself. Obesity is strongly linked to flatter feet. Doctors call it planus posture. Basically, your foot's natural arch, which is meant to absorb shock, it starts to give way.
Flattens out.
Precisely. The connective tissues stretch. Those protective fat pads under your feet can break down. Your feet can actually get wider, sometimes even a bit longer.
Yeah.
The research is, well, it's pretty clear. As BMI goes up, especially for women, the odds of foot pain jump significantly. One study showed women with severe obesity have something like 3.2 times the odds of foot pain compared to women with a normal BMI.
3 times. Wow.
Yeah. And it can cause specific things like hammer toes, claw toes, deformities, really.
So it's not just hurting, the foot is actually changing shape under the stress, almost like a building's foundation settling unevenly.
That's a really good analogy, yes.
Yeah.
The architecture of the foot changes. It adapts, but not in a healthful way. And that altered structure then creates new problems, like it affects how you walk your gait.
Oh.
We often see excessive foot pronation. That's when your foot rolls inward too much as you step.
Okay. I think I know what you mean.
Right. And that messes with your alignment, not just in your feet, but potentially your ankles, your knees, even your hips. It's all connected, that kinetic chain. It also increases the risk of falls, injuries, and then there's swelling, edema. That's common too. Plus, reduced blood circulation can be an issue, which is a bigger risk for things like wounds or infections, especially if you also have diabetes.
That's quite a list of potential problems. And you mentioned something really interesting from the sources about how fat itself contributes beyond just the weight, something about pro-inflammatory cytokines.
Ah, yes. That's a key insight. It
Yeah.
seems to be both metabolic and biomechanical. So the biomechanical part is the physical stress we've been talking about, the flatter feet, the altered forces.
Yeah.
But the metabolic part, well, fat tissue itself can release these things called pro-inflammatory cytokines.
Okay, cytokines.
Think of them like tiny chemical messengers.
Yeah.
And in this case, they're sending out signals that promote low-grade inflammation throughout the body, including your feet.
So it's not just the physical pressure, there's like an internal chemical thing happening too.
Exactly. It's kind of a double whammy. The physical stress from the weight and this underlying inflammatory state potentially driven by the fat tissue itself. It makes foot pain more likely and maybe more severe.
That's fascinating. So if your feet are dealing with all that, the physical stress, maybe this inflammation, where do shoes fit in? Can they actually help, or do they just, get crushed too?
Oh, shoes are pivotal. Absolutely pivotal. They can be your best friend or your worst enemy here. See, extra weight means your shoes wear out much faster. The cushioning, the support structures, they just break down quicker under the increased load.
Right. So a shoe that works for someone lighter might not last long or work well for someone heavier.
Precisely. It loses its effectiveness. And wearing inappropriate footwear, shoes with thin soles, no real support, that will definitely make things worse. It exacerbates pain, conditions like plantar fasciitis. This is where shock absorption becomes so critical. Think about it. Every pound of body weight adds maybe 4 pounds of pressure to your knees when you walk, and 2 or 3 pounds of impact force on your feet.
Wow, that much.
Yeah, the forces multiply.
Yeah.
So good shock-absorbing shoes,
Yeah.
they can dramatically cut down those forces. That means less stress not just on your feet, but your knees, hips, back. Less pain, Lower injury risk, it's huge.
Okay.
And then there's balance and stability. We mentioned the altered gait, the pronation. Shoes with good structure, especially a firm heel counter, and slip-resistant soles are really important for minimizing fall risk. They provide that stable base you need.
Okay, this makes perfect sense. So, knowing all this, what should someone specifically look for? If you're an overweight woman standing in a shoe store or browsing online, what are the non-negotiable?
Right, let's break it down into key features, and understanding the why is important. First, a wide toe box, absolutely crucial. Feet tend to be wider, plus there's often swelling. You need room for your toes to spread naturally. Prevents bunions, blisters, cramping.
Makes sense, no squishing.
Exactly. Second, strong arch support. This helps distribute your weight more evenly across the foot. Reduces stress on the arch itself. Helps with alignment. Really vital if your arches tend to flatten. Third, a structured heel counter. That's the firm part at the back of the shoe.
The bit that cups your heel.
Yeah, precisely. It needs to be firm to control that inward rolling, the overpronation, and stabilize your ankle. Prevents injury. Fourth, durable materials. The shoe just has to hold up under higher load, otherwise the support disappears quickly.
Okay, durability. Got it.
Fifth, a well-cushioned sole. Maximizes shock absorption. We talked about how important that is for reducing impact forces all the way up your body.
You mentioned EVA cushioning in the Apis shoe source. What is that exactly? Why is it good here?
EVA. It stands for ethylene vinyl acetate. It's a type of foam really common in athletic shoe midsoles. Imagine it's made of millions of tiny trapped air bubbles. When you step, they compress, absorb the shock, and then they bounce back. It's lightweight, but really effective at dampening impact, which is exactly what you need when dealing with higher forces. So good EVA cushioning is big plus.
Okay, EVA foam. Good to know. What else?
An adjustable fit is key. Laces, straps, something you can tweak because feet swell during the day. You need to be able to adjust for a secure, comfortable fit morning to evening. Slip-resistant soles, obvious safety benefit, especially if balance or gait is a bit off. Breathable materials, helps manage sweat, reduces risk of fungal infections, which can be more common sometimes. And lastly, check if they're compatible with orthotics. This means the original insole comes out easily. Super important for customization.
Right, you mentioned customization, and that brings us to removable insoles. The sources really highlighted these as a kind of secret weapon. Why are they such a big deal?
They are a huge deal, especially in this context. It really boils down to customization and maintenance. First, customization. Removing the factory insole lets you put in your own. That could be a custom orthotic prescribed by a podiatrist. Those can be incredibly effective. Research suggests they can cut foot pain by like 62% for people with excess weight.
Wow, 62%.
Yeah, significant. Or you can use good over-the-counter inserts that maybe offer more arch support or cushioning where you need it.
Right.
It lets you tailor the shoe's interior. It also gives you comfort control. Maybe you want more cushion for walking on hard sidewalks, less for trails. You can swap insoles.
Okay, that makes sense. Tailoring it.
And shoe lifespan. Here's the thing. Insoles usually wear out way faster than the rest of the shoe. The cushioning compresses. For heavier individuals, this can happen really fast, maybe losing half their cushioning in just 3 to 6 months. It can be, yeah. So being able to just replace the worn-out insole instead of the whole shoe, that saves money and keeps the support optimal. And finally, they accommodate foot changes. Feet swell, like we said, up to 8% in volume daily. Weight changes can affect size, too. Removable insoles give you that flexibility to adapt.
That's really compelling. So if you do take out the original insole, what are the main types of replacements you might consider?
Good question. You've got a few main categories. Top tier are those custom orthotics from a podiatrist, molded specifically to your foot. Best support, but also the priciest, maybe $200 to $600.
Okay.
Then you have heat moldable inserts. You buy them, heat them up slightly, stand on them, and they mold to your foot shape. Kind of a semi-custom fit, usually around $40 to $80, a good middle ground. Below that are general over-the-counter OTC support insoles. They offer basic arch support and cushioning. Lots of variety, maybe $20 to $50. You can also find specific types like gel inserts, which are often really good for targeted shock absorption, say under the heel. And memory foam options. They feel comfy because they conform to your foot. But a heads up, under heavier weight, memory foam can compress faster and might need replacing more often than firmer materials.
Okay. Lots of options for customization there. So we have the right features, the potential for custom insoles, but none of it matters if the fit is wrong, right? This seems like where people can easily go wrong.
Absolutely. Fit is everything, and it's dynamic. It changes.
What are the key tips then, especially for plus-size women whose feet might be wider or prone to swelling?
Okay, practical fitting tips. Number one, measure both feet regularly. Don't assume your size.
Mm.
Weight changes, even just time, can alter foot size and shape. And feet are often different sizes. Measure length and width and arch length if possible.
Measure both, measure often. Got it.
Number 2, shop later in the day. Feet naturally swell as the day goes on. Could be up to half a size difference. Try shoes on in the afternoon or evening to ensure they'll be comfy when your feet are at their largest.
Good tip. Avoid that 3 p.m. pinch.
Exactly. Number 3, and this is huge, prioritize width, not just length. Excess weight tends to make feet spread out sideways more than lengthwise. Research suggests a high percentage, maybe up to 72%, of plus-size individuals might actually need a wider shoe width. Don't squeeze into a standard width if you need a wide. It causes pain, bunions, all sorts of problems.
So W or E widths might be necessary.
Definitely. Don't ignore the width options. 4th, test with your usual socks. Sock thickness makes a real difference to fit. Try shoes on with the socks you'll actually wear with them. And finally, allow toe room. You need space at the end. About a thumb's width, roughly 38 to 12 inch, between your longest toe and the front of the shoe. Your toes need to wiggle and spread out a bit when you walk.
Okay, those are really actionable tips. Measure both, shop late, mind the width, use your socks, leave toe room.
Pretty much sums it up for getting the initial fit right.
So once you've made that investment, found the right shoe, got the fit dialed in, how do you make them last? Especially knowing they're under more stress. How do you maintain that support?
Yeah, protecting your investment is smart. And it's about maintaining the function, not just making them look good. First big tip, rotation. If possible, get 2 pairs of your main walking shoes and alternate them day by day.
2 pairs. Why?
It gives the cushioning materials, that EVA foam we talked about, time to decompress and recover their shape. It takes about 24 to 48 hours for foam to fully bounce back after being compressed.
Ah, like letting muscles rest between workouts.
Exactly the same principle. Rotating shoes significantly extends their supportive life. Second, proper cleaning. Usually hand wash, mild soap, air dry away from heat. Avoid checking them in the washer or dryer unless the label specifically says it's okay. Heat can wreck the cushioning and glues. Third, regular insole replacement. We talked about this. Even if the shoe looks okay, the insole cushioning wears out. For heavier individuals, plan on replacing insoles maybe every 3 to 6 months to maintain optimal support.
Okay, so new insoles can revive the shoe.
Absolutely. It's often the first thing to go. And finally, check for wear patterns. Look at the soles. Is the tread worn down unevenly? Is the midsole visibly compressed or wrinkled, especially on one side? These are signs the shoe structure is breaking down, and it's time for a new pair. General guideline is 300-500 miles, but honestly, for heavier walkers, you might need to replace them sooner. Listen to your body, look at the shoes.
That makes sense. Pay attention to the signs. So, bringing it all together, the sources mentioned some specific shoe models that seem to tick all these boxes. Could you highlight a few again, just as examples?
Sure. The brands that came up repeatedly were Apis, Propet, and Orthofeet. They seem to specialize in wider widths and supportive features. For instance, the Apis 9306 added depth walking shoe. Key things here were lightweight, good EVA cushioning, removable insoles, and that added depth, meaning more vertical room inside, great for swelling or thicker orthotics.
Okay, Apis 9306.
Then there was the Propet Tour Knit. This one had a breathable knit upper, sort of molds to your foot, also lightweight EVA outsole, removable footbed, and a real standout seemed to be the Propet Stability Walker, customer favorite. Wider base for stability claims to reduce side-to-side movement significantly. Lots of sizes and widths. And it comes with those heat moldable inserts included.
Oh, that's a nice bonus.
Yeah, immediate customization potential. Another Apis, the 9329, was noted for being water dust repellent, durable, but still cushioned and breathable, removable insole again. And if you're looking at a more premium orthopedic design, the Orthofeet Relay sneaker comes with their own special orthotic insoles, wide toe box they claim it improves balance by 20%, and a really soft padded interior to minimize rubbing.
Okay, Orthofeet Relay.
And a couple of others mentioned for good cushioning underload were the Ultra Olympus 6. Ultra is known for wide toe boxes generally, and Kizik, which often have easy-on features too.
It's really striking when you lay it all out like that, how much influence you actually have over your day-to-day comfort, your mobility, even your long-term joint health, just by making an informed choice about what's on your feet.
It really is foundational. Investing in good footwear, supportive, cushioned, well-fitting, it's not a luxury. It's a fundamental part of self-care and health management, especially if you're carrying extra weight. It can make a world of difference to pain levels, activity levels, and just overall quality of life. And remember, if you have persistent or severe foot pain, definitely see a podiatrist. Get expert advice tailored to you.
Absolutely. And maybe here's a final thought to take away from this deep dive. We've seen how much the foundation, our feet, impacts everything above it, and how much difference the right support can make. So it makes you wonder, what other seemingly small choices, these foundational things in our lives, might be silently shaping our health and well-being from the ground up every single day? Something to think about as you take your next step.